Welcome back to another episode of I Am Black Redefined. I'm your host, KL, and I'm so excited to be sitting here with Melissa of fabglance.com. Now, Melissa, you are a woman, a Jane of all trades. You truly have many talents. You are a social media strategist, an author, a lifestyle blogger. You've been blogging for 10 plus years in the game.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got here today.
Okay, so I started blogging first. Blogging started because I used to be a personal stylist when I was at college. And then once I got into my real world job of teaching, people still ask me style questions. And so I thought to myself, well, I can't answer all these questions. Maybe if I put it on the internet some way, people will know. Because if my motto is if one person needs it, 100 people need it. So I said, well, how do you do that? And I literally Googled like how to put things like, and it was like, all the Googles, and it was like blog, and I was like, cool. And then Google had its own blogging setup called Blogger, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's a thing I can do. So I just started blogging that way. Once blogging became a thing and people really started monetizing it and becoming famous from it, it started getting much more visual than it was just like concrete information sharing. And once social media came in, I was able to like learn every platform as it was developed and as it got popular. And in that journey, people would ask me like, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you work Twitter? How do you do that? And I would be like, oh, okay, well, I've been on Twitter this long and I've been on Instagram this long and I've been on. So I just started teaching people how to do social media. And that's how everything kind of blossomed. And I was able to kind of have everything on one platform. Everything is under the FabGlance umbrella. And I work for myself, and then I do other people's social media strategy, and I consult with people on how to do social media strategy for their businesses. And I always tell people that my first inclination is I am a teacher. So I love to teach people how to do something. I don't ever want you to leave me not knowing how to do something, whether it's not knowing how to dress, and not knowing how to do your social media, whatever it is. And if you feel like I just don't want to learn, then you just hire me to do it.
Which I love, so you're getting your coins.
Yeah, I want to get my coins.
Yes, get the check.
Yes.
Now, as an influencer, as a blogger, I mean, you've seen the articles. I'm sure you've even experienced some challenges when it comes to being a black blogger.
Oh, yes.
I know there's many a lot of issues, I think, today as far as bloggers versus the brands. And you don't want to say versus. I mean, we really do need to be working together. What challenges have you faced? What challenges have you heard other black influencers face? And how can we overcome them?
I think there's the issue of intersectionality. So you're black and you're a woman and you're an influencer. And so all these things have their own separate categories and own separate problems. But then when you're all of those things encompassed, it presents a whole different type of challenge. And so ultimately people are looking for like, we're trying to please white audiences. And so we have to kind of get our mindset out of like, I'm trying to please the white audience. It's like, no, I'm trying to please my audience. If my audience happens to have white people in it, then they need to come along with the ride of me, who is the black woman, the plus size woman, the woman who lives in Nashville, the woman, you know, whoever I am, wherever you find yourself in my categories, then come on for that ride. And I always tell people there's so many influencers and there's so many people that you could follow. You don't have to get mad at me. You could just like unfollow me and go, and there's so many brands, large and small, and everybody wants Nike, but I'm like, there's a sneaker company out there that needs your voice and they're making quality products. You may not get Nike today, but you know, you work with this other small brand and you just keep moving up. So the challenge is making sure that you understand who you are and you're feeding that audience who loves you, and you push away all of, you know, wanting to be everything to everybody, because no one is. Everybody doesn't like McDonald's. Everybody doesn't like Nike. Everybody doesn't like the main brands. They still exist.
So we need to reframe our focus.
We need to reframe our focus and say, who are the people who are clamoring for my information and why do they like getting it from me? Let me tailor that to be a genuine and organic message to that audience. And they'll be the ones who will pay your bills. You might want 1 million people to give you $1, but if you get like 100 people to give you $100,000,
listen,
you got your million, and you didn't have to, you know, you're still affecting people, and that's the good thing about it.
And I feel like gems like you're dropping today, you do drop all the time in your blogger live chat series. How did that come about? I mean, was it just natural? Like
it was organic. People, I was stating my own challenges on Insta Story, which is another part of the platform. And I was also trying to figure out how to use Insta Story to like help me, because I saw other people using it in other ways, and I was like, should I use it that way? Should I use it that way? And I was like, at the end of the day, I'm a teacher, I'm a storyteller. People like my stories, and I know how to teach. And so someone asked me a question, and I was like, I can answer this on a larger scale instead of writing a blog post, because we're getting to a weird place where people don't quite like to read. They like to know the information is there when they need it, but they're not gonna read it as soon as you put it out. So how can I traffic them to go to a post that I worked hard on and I researched? I give them my personality and say, if you want the rest, you need to go read. And so that's how our Blogger Life chat started. And my personality, I started to overwhelm myself. Like, it should be every week. Like, it should be this. And it should be like, I need likes, I need this. And I was like, don't nobody care about all that. Because the ones they like the most were the ones where it's like real organic and real me just being normal. I mean, of course I'm gonna wash my face and get the sleep out of my eyes, but you know.
And your face be beat that. You know, girl, you be coming up like, oh, okay,
yeah, you know, give the people what they want.
Uh-huh.
But I wanna, when I see trends happening on the internet, especially when it comes to social media, I'm like, okay, let me talk about it in my way. And I also did my analytics, which is a lot of things that a lot of people don't do. Figure out what people are coming to you for and who are those people. And so I realized my people are very entry level social media users. They don't quite understand it yet. They're still kind of posting. They're still trying to do that. They have less than 10,000 followers. And so they need it on a very basic level. And one of my mentors told me, as long as you know more than the first grader, you can teach all the first graders. And I was like, oh, okay, so I don't need to bring it up here. And he's like, just bring it on down here. And I was like, cool. And so that's how I started doing Blogger Life Chat. And I'm developing programming to make it even bigger and better for next year. So it's something that people can really pass along. Because I know that for myself, I was not at a point where I could buy these amazing classes that you see on the internet all the time. And, you know, come here and this guru and they're going to teach you. And and I'm not like downplaying those people, but sometimes I don't have $100.
And then you got to get there.
And I got to get there. And then you want to feel like you're ready and available. But if I can give you something that you can like look at again on IGTV and then go read a blog post and refer back to it, and when you're ready, bring it back again, that's how I'm going to do it. So finding what works for you and like not really looking at what everybody else is doing will really work.
Okay, so if you were to talk to our bloggers, whether they're novice or seasoned that are watching today, what 3 tips can you give our Black bloggers that are watching right now?
All right, so don't be afraid of your Blackness. Whatever version of Blackness you want to share with the world, share it, because we need to see ourselves more authentically on these platforms, you know. So if you're from the islands, show that part of you. If you're just a Southern girl, show the Southern girl. If you're a girl from up north like I am, like show that. Also, consistency.
Listen, girl. Well, hold up now. You preaching to me over here too. Listen now. Consistency. It's key.
It's key. And I tell people all the time, find your consistency. Like when I first started blogging, I blogged every day. And so I have hundreds and hundreds upon hundreds of articles. But as life changed and turned, you know, you may become a mom, you may become a wife, your parents may get sick, and you may feel bad because I can't do it every day. So find that new consistency. It just may be Tuesdays and Thursdays. It may just be every Friday, but your audience wants to know they can count on you for something. So make sure you're consistent. And the third thing I would say is have a budget. That's something that I had made many a mistake on, is overproducing myself and saying I need this equipment, or I need this photographer, or I need to be at this event. And is me spending that much money gonna get me that much, you know, exposure? There's no promises. So budget. If you need to be at that super dope event that happens at the end of the year, then budget for that. Budget for the flight, budget for the clothes, or whatever it is. Or if you're like, no, I just really need a really good camera, then budget for that, and then work your way around that. And even tell this, that's a story you can tell on your platform. About how you budgeted to go to this super amazing event in like Miami, like Art Basel or something of that nature, and what you did and what you sacrificed. And you'll find an audience who's like, I want to do that. And I didn't think I could sacrifice, but she did, or he did. so I can do it too. So there's always a story in what you're trying to do. So being authentic, I just like fourth.
But it makes you relatable.
Yeah, it makes you relatable. Yeah.
And I think that's really something that we all those points really need to work on, whether you are a blogger or just trying to use Instagram, even as a brand, I think. For any product-based business too.
Yeah.
Now you also have an initiative called Top 10 Under 10K, which
my baby.
Absolutely right. I absolutely love that you started that initiative and that you've been going strong with it. And so I've noticed every time you pick the influencers, of course, not everyone might not be Black, but I've noticed though you do fit right. I was like, it's always 6 or more. It's always 6 or more, and I love how you're doing that. Tell us a little bit about how that selection process works, because listen, if you're an influencer and you're under 10K, you want to be featured.
Yeah, you want to be featured. So basically it came from me not having 10K yet. I've been on the Instagram for 5 years, y'all.
And she gives great content, and she is hilarious on these stories. So y'all need to give her a follow.
Still do not have 10K at the time of this filming.
Right. Facts. At the time of this filming.
At the time of this filming, I do not have 10K. And so I felt selfish at first, and I was like,
that's real.
I don't like it, you know? And then I was like, well, then there's probably a bunch of other people who feel this. Once again, the motto is if I feel this way, 100 other people feel this way.
True.
So that was my motto. I was like, then there's got to be other people who want this exposure. I do have people who look at my content. I do have an average of this many people who like stuff. So why not just like find people who also need 10K, because we all need it to operate on Instagram's like algorithm and special things they give you for having that many followers. And also brands tend to seek you out if you have 10,000 or more followers. And I said, well, I'm going to start featuring people who don't have it. So first it was my friends, you know, because I was like, you know, those are my homies.
Right.
And they need to be featured. And then I started reaching out and just saying, hey, nominate a friend. And so that makes people feel good because they see that someone sees that they're doing something good. And I give them the criteria is that you have to be consistent. It needs to be authentic. Your captions need to be dope and your photos need to be nice. Now, nice is relative because, you know, you could be just starting out and nice could be your cell phone. But I was like, there's still a way to have nice photos on your cell phone because YouTube exists. Look it up. Hundreds of videos on how to take very dope photos with your iPhone 7 and up. And that's it. And then I literally, my promise to everybody who gets tagged is that I go through everybody's profile and I give them, and I give them likes and I leave comments. So if 100 people get nominated that week, I spend an hour or two and I click on every single one and I go through, I like 3 or more photos, I leave comments because I want them to know that if I did it for you, you go do it for somebody else.
Yes. Pay the way for it.
Pay the way. And then they have to follow me, of course.
Right.
And then I find the best photos they have on their timeline and I feature it on my Insta story. It's up for 24 hours.
Love that.
And then they share with other people and they're really happy. And I like to do it in the middle of the night so when you wake up it's like a little cute surprise.
Right.
Like, oh, snap! Somebody
you know, like me.
Yeah, and then I have a highlight on my Insta story that has every week the people that I selected. So it's there for forever, you know. So you can, if you need new people to follow, you know, they're there, you know. And I try to pick guys and girls a good mix. I make it diverse. I do try to focus on Black influencers because Black influencers, because of Instagram's algorithm, the way it was written, the coding has an unconscious bias for white faces because the computer reads faces. And when they see a spicier face, it kind of reads a little bit lower.
Right.
Instagram denies this. Research suggests that it's true. It's true. And so I try to focus on Black influencers, Black content creators, Black brands, and then it's female-led brands, and then everybody else.
I absolutely love that, Melissa. You are doing so much in the community, and then just especially as a creative. I'm trying to think, Melissa, when did we meet? It was...
Oh my, dang, it's been a minute. 13?
So basically, just to let y'all know, so I was at work, obviously not working because I was watching TV, and I saw Melissa on one of our local shows, Talk of the Town, and she was styling. And I went to her Twitter, and I was like, oh, she's funny. First I was like, she's hilarious. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just shoot my shot and basically be like, hey sis, I saw you on TV today. Like you did that. And she literally was like, oh, you baby blogger. Come here, child. And really helped me. And I think, you know, I definitely want to say this on this platform here. I mean, because of your help, because of your guidance, I am where I am now. I mean, it is so important for people to, when they reach whatever level of success, whatever that might look like for them, that they reach back and help someone get to whatever their version of success is. And I mean, I can only imagine what I'd be doing. Probably lost girl child. Well, I was like, not posting, because I mean, you also know too that consistency has been an issue, because I'd be hypercritical on my photos. But it took you being supportive, being motivational,
and a little mean.
She was a little mean, but I needed the spiciness. I needed the spiciness, and I mean, just from helping me, I know for sure that you are amazing at what you do. I appreciate it, and I can only imagine the people that don't get the face-to-face with you, but through Instagram, through Twitter, through your blog, and even your newsletters, who are affected by what you do. And I think you truly are Black Redefined. You truly are Black Redefined, and I just want to say thank you for everything that you have done for me and the community as a whole. Tell us, if you can, in one sentence, just sum it up for us.
One sentence.
How are you Black Redefined?
I'm Black Redefined because I make the rules for how my success will be in general. That's it.
That.
I make the rules, and I'm okay with that.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for taking the time today. It's like, now, of course, this would not be complete unless you tag your social handles.
Yes, okay.
And website.
Tip, make your name the same on every platform.
Make it easy.
I am Fab Glance on every platform, FABGLANCE, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and Snapchat sometimes, but not all the time. And yeah, follow me, please. Yes, and I give you a little something different on every platform.
Yes.
See, everybody get a little something different on the platform. So if you follow me all, you get the total Melissa.
I love it. I love it. Thank you again so much. And thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. I do want you to join in on the conversation. So be sure to check us out on Twitter, of course on Instagram, and I want you to fill out the template as well and tag I Am Black Redefined. I want to know how it is that you redefine what it is to be Black. Until next week, guys.